And we are back once more in Broken Arrow's demo, and we are just today going to have a look through all of the American gear. So this is all the American stuff that's in the game. I know some of it's not available obviously in the mission we can play, but this is what they've got in so far, I assume, or whenever they put this demo together. Who knows what they still have and they haven't shown us. But once again, like we did with the Russian stuff, we're going to go for Recon first and just plow through it all. So first up is the Armoured Knight. Literally just a little APC with a rather large Browning on the top. No upgrade options there, but it does have the laser symbol, which I assume means it can laze targets for you. It does have that big laser there, or recon unit there, and obviously it sees pretty far. The Flyer GMV, which basically looks like a Humvee, but with various options of upgrades to its weaponry, which is quite nice. As I did with the Russian one, I won't be going through all the details on the page. You can explore that as you wish. You can pause it and read through them, but I'm not going to go through it in detail, or we will be here for hours and hours, and the video is already going to be long by clicking on every unit in the game. But the models are obviously outstanding for these. Then we've got the Force Recon units. The animations on the weapons and stuff are very good, by the way, if you zoom in on them when they're actually using these things. Humvee GMV. Again, with various weapon upgrade options there. Nothing too exciting. The Humvee LRAS-3. Again, we're seeing long-range laser capabilities, obviously for the laser designating targets. Compared to that Humvee as well, we're also seeing options for armor. So we can give it an armor kit. And we also have options for weapon upgrades as well. Anything from a standard machine gun to a heavy machine gun and an automatic grenade launcher. The Humvee RWS, which just feels like a less good version of all the other ones. It does get the upgraded armor though. Then we've got the IFAV M2, which is just a little Jeep, basically, with a Browning, autocannon, or it can have a tow. We do like a tow. A tow 2A. That's pretty nice. The JLTV RV M2. It's quite a nice little truck, isn't it? Don't know what's going on in the back of it, but otherwise it's pretty cool. Weapons packages again. Browning, grenade launcher, an autocannon. It doesn't look like an autocannon when you see it there, but it is an autocannon, yeah. And the autocannon with a javelin launcher mounted as well. The old LAV, a well-known unit from the American military. Bushmaster. But we can upgrade the armor. Minor upgrade to the armor, I guess. Nothing too exciting. No other options there. The LSV. I mean, I think I said before when I was live streaming, I love little buggies like this. But I mean, it's not going to be doing much in the game, is it? It's just going to get blown up very easily, even with its decent recon. The M1117 Guardian. Another APC. Its stats had vanished, but it's got a HMG, an automatic grenade launcher, or it can have an M2 and a Mark 19. And a proper turret. That's quite nice. It's probably worth the extra 10 points. Where are we up to? Oh yes, the Bradley. We love a Bradley. Look at that thing. Where's my stats for the Bradley, you swines? There we go, finally. It's a little bit buggy, the armory, but there we go, or the arsenal, whatever you want to call it. So, base armor, or upgraded armor, so it's explosive reactive armor upgrade, basically. Loads of heat protection. Makes a huge difference to the sides. Quite a bit to the front, obviously. And then we get the M7 Bradley Fist. Again, the thing's vanished, but we'll get it back. So this one is Bushmaster again. Better line of sight or better range on its recon. And obviously you can laze targets and you can upgrade it with the Busk Armor. Apparently the Busk Armor is free for this. I don't know why you wouldn't take that. That's obviously just not finished yet. Then we've got the MQ-8 Fire Scout, which does have weapons, considering it's a little recon drone. We can either have the rocket pod, a mixed loadout with a rocket pod and Hellfires, or just an anti-tank loadout with a load of Hellfires. I mean, any of the above sounds good to me. Reaper, another well-known drone. Hellfires, empty or more Hellfires. I mean, why wouldn't you just bring loads of Hellfires? Then we've got Pararescue. Zoom in on these guys. I'm afraid I can't show you what weapons they have because it won't pop up. We've got the Rangers. I'll pop back to the Pararescue. There we go. Now we've got it. Scar L, the Mark 46, and the Sniper. Well, I say Sniper. What I actually mean is, I think it's actually a marksman rifle rather than a proper sniper. The Rangers RRC. I need to check that on the Mark 12. It's got me wondering now. It does have some anti-tank there. Then we've got the RSOV, sorry, which is another little buggy. It does get a weapon package, but it's not... Yeah, I was going to say, it's just a gun or an automatic grenade launcher. Nothing exciting. Sniper team. Now, that's a proper sniper. The M40A5. The M38 is probably a designated marksman rifle, I think. And then we got the Stryker. Another semi-well-known vehicle. This one is got a laser designator. It can have armor upgrade, but it doesn't change the model at the minute. And weapons wise, we can have a HMG or an MGL, well, AGL. Let's have a look at the infantry choices. So the Dragon, which we've seen in game in action, nice unit. Javelin team for when you want things to hit a bit harder. Do they look the same at the moment? I mean, the teams look different, but the Javelin and Dragon launchers look the same at the moment. We've got the Stinger team. The Light Rifle Squad. I do think these models look pretty cool. The Marines. Or the Marine Raiders, sorry. Then the actual Marines. Mech Rifles. With two M249s. Small guys. And then a weapons squad, which have Javelins, M240s, and M4s. Should be quite a heavy-hitting squad. Vehicles, again, there are so many to go through here. We've got the AAVP 7A1, EAAK. And we only get an armor upgrade for that, though. And... oh, it does. It puts ridges on the side. Though this vehicle keeps its amphibious capability even with armor on it. No weapon upgrades. The ACV, which does get some weapon upgrades. That does look nice with a Bushmaster on it, I must say. £30 points for a Bushmaster, and it's 20 points for any of the others. I mean, you may as well take the Bushmaster. Come on. Humvee gets an armor package. Nothing too exciting. There was no armor package for the ACV. Humvee patrol vehicle. Do get an armor package for that. And obviously something very, very, very familiar from Afghanistan, places like that, was this upgraded armor with all of the screens or windows in there, the bulletproof glass. And we can change that to a grenade launcher. Humvee tow. Can change the weapons here. Just an upgraded tow, basically, to the 2B. 2B or not to be? That is the question. Oh, I had to get the pun in there. And again, upvetted armor. Nothing too exciting. The JLTV. Don't know what's going on in the back here, but otherwise, pretty decent. The FSV, no upgrades for that. Was there any details there? Not a lot. There's nothing to that, is there? I guess it's just transport. This, we do get weapons on this version. So it's a Browning or an automatic grenade launcher. The in-game music has stopped. I wonder if that will no longer continue now. Because I've been in the game too long and have run through all the music. That's interesting. Just noticed that in the background. I will fill the gap with my own music, don't worry. The JLTV Tow 2A. Oh, now there's the music. It is going again. I'll let them off. Or the 2B. The LAV AT. Obviously, we've seen this in a few games, I'm sure. Can upgrade the armor. And we can change the weapons to a modernized variant. Don't know what that changes, to be fair. Doesn't seem to change much. Just makes it more expensive. I guess it's not finished. The M1283 AMPV. Funny looking vehicle. Can have reactive armor fitted. And can be upgraded to a grenade launcher. A remote weapon station with a Bushmaster. Or the Bushmaster with a javelin as well. That's expensive. The M1A1 FEP with upgradable armor to ARAT armor package. Basically, just adds more to the sides. The M1A1HC, again, armor package. Again, mainly to the sides. Not a huge amount of options for that. Back to the M2A2 Bradley, which gets an armor package upgrade. Significant change to heat armor. The A3 variant of the Bradley. Obviously with base armor plus Iron Fist, which I assume is an active defense system. Base armor, reactive armor, or Busk reactive plus the Iron Fist. Lots of options. Not too expensive either. I expect that'll change. The A3 Bradley ESV. For mine clearance, I assume. Again, same armor options. The M55 1A1 Sheridan still exists. Look at it. Look at its little gun. No upgrades available. The M60 with its taped on armor plating. I just think that looks so ridiculous. And then the mighty Stryker. I do like the Stryker. This is the ATGM variant. And it can be upgraded with armor, but it doesn't appear at the moment, unfortunately. It's not finished. The Stryker ESV, again with that plow on the front. We get a choice of weapons. Javelins are a nice option there, and we do get an armor package, obviously, but again, it isn't visible. The Stryker ICV, again with the armor package that we can't see, but it does increase the heat substantially and a little bit kinetic. And then, again, various options for weapons, but the top one is the Dragoon with the Bushmaster. I don't know why it's not just called a Bushmaster, to be honest. And then we have the Stryker MGS, which obviously has the anti-tank gun on it, or the tank gun, whatever you want to call it. 105mm rounds it takes, and obviously a Browning on there, and we can upgrade its armor. And we do see the armor on that one. We saw that in some early footage of the game, if you remember. So, on to support. Support here, we have a little truck with, well, affectionately known as the Avenger, obviously, with a Stingers and a Browning on there. Weapons, double missile pod, that is the one we're more familiar with, I'm sure. Obviously with 2 sets of missiles. Can have an armor package as well, with a little bit of armor on there. I think... yeah. Nothing too exciting, just a little bit of an upgrade. Then we have the Centurion CRAM, which is basically your hugely or reasonably powerful anti-air gun and anti-missile defense gun. Weirdly, it's got... I'm really confused. Oh no, there we go. That was weird. Because did you see it had mortars, as if I clicked on a mortar? But I definitely clicked on the Centurion. So there we go. I was going to say, it's got the CIWS. I'm less confused now by what's going on over here. Do get an armor package. Nothing too exciting again for the armor package. The Hawkeye MWS. That is a little artillery piece. This exists. This actually exists. I've seen it on Wikipedia and stuff. I googled it. But it does exist. It looks ridiculous, but it does really exist. Again, small amount of armor. The Lav AD. Obviously here with a 25mm chain gun. And some stingers. Can upgrade the armor. But that is all. The Lav M, which obviously has the... This is more what I was thinking of when I'm clicking on something and thinking mortars. Again, we can upgrade the armor. The LMTV. Just a little truck. Here we can have the MMG, the HMG, or the grenade launcher. And we can give it a little bit of an armor upgrade. The LVSR, your typical truck, can have an armor upgrade and can have a variety of weapons equipped, but again, it's just the basic machine guns, heavy machine gun, and grenade launcher. The Paladin, another well-known unit. Weapons package options are either the standard or the Iron Thunder option. That gets, interestingly, it can use the Excalibur, the HE or the Smoke. Iron Thunder is limited to HE or Smoke, but I think... Does that increase its range substantially? Aim time better, reload time better, auto load. Ah, it's got auto loading as well. Okay. Makes sense. And we can up armor that, which you would expect. The M1287 MCV. This is another mortar carrier. It can have a self-defense package with a machine gun, a Browning, or a grenade launcher, and it can have reactive armor fitted. If you're getting it close to the front line, I guess. It is an option. HIMARS, another fairly well-known unit. B-kit armor, or we can have different ones. So, a unitary warhead. The basically anti-tank warhead, so it's a cluster munition. Or we can give it the ATACMS long-range ballistic missile. The M6 linebacker. I believe this is mainly aimed at anti-air. Sensors and weapons with either the basic or upgraded system. It has the Bushmaster, but the it does have stingers as well. And this one basically has, I guess, upgraded sight and stuff. Yeah, nothing too exciting. Does lose out on its machine gun though. And again, armor package, busk armor, nothing too exciting. The Madis, a little itty-bitty vehicle. The vehicle is familiar, obviously we've seen that a few times now, but obviously this is a completely different loadout. We're seeing some stingers and a little cannon on that. The MTVR transport vehicle, armor upgrade is available, and again, machine gun, heavy machine gun, or grenade launcher as options for defense. You got the Patriot, which obviously is self-explanatory. It can have an armor upgrade. Weapons package can be upgraded to 4 missiles instead of 2, and it can have self-defense in the form of machine gun, heavy machine gun, or grenade launcher. The Patriot Pack 3, again, can have 12 or 16 missiles. It can have its usual defensive options and an upgraded armor kit. And then we have the Stryker mortar carrier at the back there. But there's no upgrade options, and annoyingly, it's not giving... Oh, there we... It flashes up, and then it vanishes. There we go. Again, just standard mortar carrier, basically. Logistics, there is nothing. So we move on immediately to helicopters. Helicopters, we have the Super Cobra, a classic. Inner pylons, we have Hydra rockets. Outer pylons, we can have Hydra rockets, guided rockets, Hellfires, or anti-air missiles. Aim 9s, just in case. Then we have the Viper, which comes with Hydras, guided rockets, or Hellfires, outer pylons, Hydras, or guided rockets. And then those wingtips can also have some Aim 9 anti-air missiles. The AH-64D Apache, another well-known chopper. Nice model again. So, inner pylons, rockets, guided rockets, anti-tank missiles. And outer, guided rockets, or again, Hellfires. I mean, kitted out with the Hellfires, go tank hunting. Then we have the mighty AH-64D Longbow with its radar on top there. Guided rockets, or Hellfire L, fire and forget missiles. And we can take those on both. That's a pop-up, shoot, and run away. The Super Stallion Marines transport unit. Nothing too exciting here. You can get a chain gun on there, which appears at the side, or a 50 cal if you're so inclined, but nothing too exciting for defenses. The Osprey. Osprey is a very, very lovely vehicle. Helicopter and plane in one, effectively. Does have a weapon mount on the back, unarmed, or we can stick a minigun on there. Obviously, the minigun is just visible there, I think. I don't think... Oh, the minigun's on the bottom, I think. Does that come as default, then, with that gun? It has the GAU-21 as default. And you just get the little minigun on the bottom. Well, that's quite nice. It does have some defensive capability on the back of it. The MH6 Little Bird only gets optics upgrades. Very sad. Needs some rockets on miniguns. Come on, guys. The MH60 IDAP. This has inner and outer pylons. So inner we can have chain guns, Hellfires, or rocket pods. That's the Dagger rocket pods, by the way. Outer pylons, Hydras, or Stingers. Good set of options. We have the MH60S Nighthawk. A little bit different. Get some door guns. We can upgrade that to the GAU-21s, if you are so inclined. Or it can be empty and just have the guns at the front, the machine guns. Pylons, we can have a gun pod, some Hydra rockets. And the starboard, I assume, is the same. Yeah. Oh no, Hydra or Hellfires. Get some decent options with these helicopters. Another variant of the Osprey. Weapons options, again, just the minigun on the bottom there. Why is that on there twice, I wonder? I honestly don't know. They're not really any different, so I'm not sure. And then we have the UH-1Y Venom, which can have door guns, miniguns, or just normal machine guns. And then the pylons, we can have some Hydra rockets, or some guided rockets. And that's everything for the helicopters. Let's move on to aircraft. The A-10C Thunderbolt 2. Fantastic and very iconic jet. Tank destroyer, as it is known. Did you know that the F-111 is actually more effective in combat versus tanks? And has killed more tanks in combat than the Thunderbolts, apparently? Interesting bit of trivia, considering, you know, we associate the Thunderbolt with killing tanks. ECM pods, Sidewinders, Aim 9s, or more Aim 9s. Plenty of options. Middle pylons, Mavericks. 2 Mavericks, 4 Mavericks, 6 Mavericks. Central pylons, loads of bombs. Different variations of bombs. Some of them are just big bombs. Some of them are bombs that have cluster munitions. You can have some JDAMs on there if you're so inclined. 2,000 pound bombs. There's plenty of options there. The AC-130U Spooky 2 with all of its cannons on the side. Look at those things. Bow 4s and a 105mm. Fantastic weapon system. No idea how it's going to work in this game. The AV-8B Harrier 2 Plus. Basically a fancy Harrier. Outer pylons. Sidewinders can have AMRAAMs, as this variant of the Harrier does have radar. And also the 122 sidearms. Middle pylons. AMRAAMs, Sidewinders, Mavericks as an option. GBUs, 54 JDAMs, or the GBU 55s. Inner pylons, Mavericks, bombs, JDAMs, Zuni rockets, weirdly, or fuel tanks if you're keeping it in the fight for a while. And down the center line, the GAU-12 equalizer bomb. Can we see it under there? I guess that's it. Yeah. Is it? What is the equalizer in this sense? It's a gun. I thought it was a bomb. Well, it does say 25mm GAU-12. Maybe it is guns. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that. ECM pod. Designation pod for laser designation. ECM pod. Or the GAU-12 and the ECM pod. Or GAU-12 and designation pod. ECM pod with the GAU-12. Apologies. The AV-8B Night Attack option, which is going to be more aimed at anti-ground. Yeah. Many Mavericks, many bombs options. Can still take Sidewinders, but obviously doesn't have the radar as an option, so can't take the long-range missiles. But plenty of bomb options. And then inner pylons, yeah. Plenty of options there. The B-1B Lancer Bomber. Loadout options are CBU 87s, cluster munitions, Mark 84 bombs. I don't know if we can see them inside, sadly. Maybe. Yeah, you can. They do change. JSTO. JASSMs. I believe that's a cruise missile, yes. AGM 86C. Or a tactical nuke. Definitely what I'd be taking. The FA-18E. Single-seater variant of this jet, I believe. Yeah. Sidewinders, Sparrows, or AMRAAMs. Middle pylons. Basically, this is an anti-air jet. Inner pylons, yeah. Purely anti-air, all across the board. Whereas the FA-18F, pilot and gunner, or targeter. And this will have Sidewinders, AMRAAMs, Mavericks, middle pylons going more down the bombing route, and inner pylons again, just about those bombs and missiles. Or a fuel tank if you're that way inclined. The classic F-14D Super Tomcat. Again, we'll be seeing plenty of long-range air. And also, lots of bombs for this, because it is used for bombing. Wing pylons will be focused on long range, and it does have the very long range AIM 54s. And fuel tanks are a further option there. The F-15C Eagle, a classic anti-air jet with all those 120s. Not as many weapons as you can fit, I think, on the one in DCS. Oh, it might be the same, actually. I think it's just because you can have the fuel tanks on as well. Ah, yes, there we go. All 3 fuel tanks. The F-15E Strike Eagle, dual-seater variant. And this thing has its form-fitting fuel tanks on the side there, which give it loads more hard points for bombs. As you can see, look at all the bombs on there. 6 per side. It's a lot of extra bomb loadout. So, wings can have AIM-120s, AIM-9s, or AIM-120s, obviously. And then we have loads of bomb options as well under there, where we would usually have the fuel tanks, including JDAMs. Plenty of options there. Fuselage, pylons, these are our ones off the form-fitting fuel tanks. And again, you have loads of options here for what you can fit. And down the center line again, loads of bomb options. I mean, it's, you know, this thing is made to do damage. And soon getting added to DCS, incidentally. Unrelated to this game, but, you know, I'll drop that in there. The F-22 Raptor. Recently seen shooting down a Chinese spy balloon. Over, well, I don't know if it was still in American airspace at the time. It was over the sea. AIM-120s, JDAMs, J-STOW, and the Stormbreaker. Obviously, we can't see them because they're inside in the starboard bay. Again, it's inside, so we can't see these things, but same options. The F-35A. I believe there's possibly questions about how they look and whether there's issues with the models, but people can tell me that because I'm no expert. So here we get various options. We can either have AIM-120s or we can have air-to-ground stuff. And the starboard bay is the same. At the moment, I don't believe the weapons actually change in there. I think that's something that will come later. The F-35B. Very similar loadout, obviously. And then the F-35C. Which, again, will have very likely a similar loadout. Slightly more bombs for this one. Glide bombs as well. Yeah. And that's it. That is everything that is in the game so far. And it's a lot. Because we've done a video on the Russians. We've done a video on the Americans. There's loads of this stuff. It's ridiculous. And there's still got more to add. And this isn't finished. Obviously, it's a bit buggy at times. But you get the idea. But there's so much stuff in here. And, you know, just how long these videos are to read through them. And click on all the upgrades. Can you imagine how long this video would be if I read through every bit of detail on that side tab? It would be crazy. So I'm leaving it there for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel. There'll be more Broken Arrow coming up.